All right. Buckle up, kids, because we're about to drop into a country that's bursting with more vibrant culture, stunning landscapes, and adventure than you can shake a selfie stick at. We're talking about Nepal, people. This isn't your average tourist trap. No, sir. This is the kind of place that gets under your skin, rearranges your soul a little bit, and leaves you wondering why you ever thought about going anywhere else. And trust me, you don't want to navigate this place alone. That's where our friends at Signal Travel Concierge come in. They're like the Sherpas of trip planning. They handle all the logistics, the permits, the reservations, all that jazz. So you can focus on what really matters, soaking up every single mind-blowing moment. So, what are we waiting for? Let's dive into the good stuff. First up, we're hitting the legendary city of Kathmandu. Get ready for a sensory overload. Ancient temples, bustling markets, monkeys swinging from rooftops, you name it. Kathmandu is a chaotic symphony of life, and I am here for every single beat. After that, we're strapping on our hiking boots and hitting the trails in Pokhara. Picture this. Crystal clear lakes reflecting snow-capped mountains, adrenaline-pumping paragliding adventures, and some of the most breathtaking views on the planet. Look, I could sit here and list off all the epic things we're going to see in Nepal, but we'd be here all day. And honestly, words don't really do this place justice anyway. You got to see it to believe it. So, what do you say? You down for an adventure? I thought so. Stick with me and let's explore the magic of Nepal together. All right, folks, we've touched down in Kathmandu, and let me tell you, this city hits the ground running. It's a whirlwind of colors, sounds, and smells, and honestly, it's a little overwhelming in the best way possible. We're talking ancient temples rubbing shoulders with modern shops, street vendors, hawking everything from prayer beads to yak wool blankets, and a constant hum of activity that's both exhilarating and exhausting. One of the first things you got to do in Kathmandu is head straight for Durbar Square. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is like stepping back in time. Intricate wood carvings, towering temples, and the palace where Nepal's kings used to rule. Keep your eyes peeled for the Kumari, a living goddess who's believed to be the reincarnation of a Hindu deity. We're talking next-level cultural immersion here, people.
But Kathmandu isn't just about ancient history. This city's got a modern pulse too, with trendy cafes, rooftop bars with killer views, and a burgeoning art scene. We'll grab some momos. Those are delicious little dumplings from a street vendor and soak up the energy of this incredible city. Trust me, Kathmandu is a feast for the senses, and you're going to want to savor every bite.
Now, before we move on, let's talk about Swayambhunath, also known as the Monkey Temple. This place is perched high on a hill overlooking the city, offering panoramic views that will blow your mind. And yes, you guessed it, it's home to hundreds of monkeys. They're running around, causing mischief, and reminding you that even in the heart of a bustling city, nature finds a way. Kathmandu is a city of contrasts, a place where ancient traditions collide with modern life. And it's an experience you won't soon forget. All right, guys, pack your bags because we're leaving the hustle and bustle of Kathmandu behind and heading to a place that's all about peace, tranquility, and some seriously epic views. I'm talking about Pokhara, the adventure capital of Nepal and home to Phua Lake, a body of water so clear it'll make you question reality. Seriously, it's like someone took a giant mirror and slapped it onto the landscape.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Peace and tranquility sound great, but where's the adventure? Don't worry, Pokhara's got you covered. This place is a haven for adrenaline junkies, with everything from paragliding to whitewater rafting to trekking through the Annapurna region. Imagine soaring through the air, the wind whipping through your hair as you gaze down at the majestic Himalayas. It's the kind of experience that'll stay with you long after you've landed back on solid ground.
But Pokhara isn't just about heart-stopping activities. It's also a place to unwind, recharge, and reconnect with nature. Picture yourself sipping on a cup of masala chai by the lakeside, watching the sun paint the sky in hues of orange, pink, and purple as the snow-capped peaks glow in the distance. It's the kind of moment that makes you forget all your worries and just breathe.
And speaking of those snow-capped peaks, Pokhara is the gateway to the Annapurna region, one of the most famous trekking destinations in the world. Whether you're a seasoned hiker or a newbie looking for a challenge, the Annapurna circuit has something for everyone. But we'll dive into that epic adventure a little later. For now, let's just soak up the serenity of Pokhara, a place where you can find your peace and push your limits all in one breathtaking location. Alright, so we've had our spiritual awakening, scaled the heights of human endeavor, but let's be real. Sometimes you just gotta get wild. And there's no place wilder in Nepal than Chitwan National Park. This place is like stepping into a National Geographic documentary.
Forget your fancy hotels and your Instagrammable cafes. This is raw, untamed wilderness. We're talking dense jungle, winding rivers, and enough wildlife to make your head spin.
The main attraction, rhinos. And I'm not talking about some zoo animal lazily munching on hay. We're talking massive one-horned tanks lumbering through the grasslands. You can get closer to these magnificent creatures than you ever thought possible.
And if you're lucky, and I mean really lucky, you might even spot a Bengal tiger. No promises though, these guys are masters of camouflage.
Chitwan is all about experiencing nature on its own terms. We're talking jeep safaris, canoe rides down crocodile-infested rivers, and treks through the jungle with nothing but the sounds of the wild surrounding you. It's exhilarating, it's humbling. It's an experience that'll stay with you long after you've left the jungle.
From the wild jungles of Chitwan, we're switching gears completely and heading to Lumbini, the birthplace of Buddha. You can practically feel the spirituality in the air here. It's a place for reflection, for contemplation, and maybe even a little bit of soul-searching.
Lumbini is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and for good reason. It's home to ancient ruins, sacred ponds, and temples from all over the Buddhist world.
You can wander through the Mayadevi temple, the exact spot where Buddha is said to have been born. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and you can almost feel the weight of history and spirituality all around you.
But honestly, the real magic of Lumbini is in its atmosphere. The air is thick with incense. Monks in crimson robes stroll through the grounds, and pilgrims from all walks of life come here to pay their respects.
Whether you're a devout Buddhist or just looking for a moment of peace, Lumbini is a place that will stay with you long after you've left. It's a reminder that amidst the chaos of the world, there's a place for quiet reflection and inner peace.
All right, guys, let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say the tallest mountain in the world. We're talking about Everest, baby. And not just Everest. We're talking about trekking to Everest Base Camp. This is the holy grail for adventurers, a journey that tests your limits and rewards you with views that will blow your damn mind.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, this ain't no walk in the park. We're talking high altitudes, thin air, and some seriously challenging terrain. But trust me, the experience is worth every ounce of sweat and every aching muscle.
Imagine this. You're trekking through these incredible landscapes, surrounded by towering peaks, glaciers that sparkle like 1,000 diamonds, and prayer flags fluttering in the wind. You're sharing the trail with yaks, Sherpas who practically climb these mountains for breakfast, and fellow adventurers from around the globe.
And then you reach base camp. The energy is electric, the sense of accomplishment is overwhelming, and the view of Everest towering above you is something you'll never, ever forget. This is the kind of experience that changes you, that pushes you to your limits, and shows you what you're truly capable of. All right, guys, listen up. We're talking Bhaktapur today. This place is like stepping into a time machine. Seriously, it's insane. Imagine a city frozen in time where ancient temples and palaces line the streets and the whole place just oozes history.
We're talking centuries-old architecture, intricate carvings, and a vibe that's just indescribable. You can feel the weight of history here, you know? Like every brick has a story to tell. And trust me, there are some stories to be told here.
Bhaktapur was once a major trading hub on the route between Tibet and India. And that rich history is still visible today. Everywhere you look, there's something incredible to see. Hidden courtyards, ancient shrines, and these incredible wood carvings that'll blow your mind.
It's like the whole city is a museum, but a living, breathing one. You're walking the same streets, navigating the same narrow alleys as people did hundreds of years ago. It's an experience that'll stay with you long after you leave.
Next stop, Patan. This place is known as the City of Beauty, and let me tell you, it lives up to the name. We're talking next level artistry, guys. Patan is like an open-air museum, but instead of boring old paintings, you've got intricate carvings, stunning temples, and palaces that'll blow your mind.
The heart of it all is Patan Durbar Square, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that's an absolute must-see. Imagine a sprawling plaza surrounded by these incredible temples and monuments, each one more impressive than the last. The craftsmanship is unbelievable. It's like every surface is covered in these intricate details, from the towering pillars to the smallest carvings.
And the vibe here is just electric. You've got street vendors selling their wares, musicians playing traditional Nepali music, and locals going about their daily lives. It's this vibrant tapestry of culture and history, and it's impossible not to get swept up in it all.
Seriously, guys, Patan is a sensory overload in the best possible way. You've got to experience it to truly understand.
Okay, adrenaline junkies, this one's for you. We're talking about the Annapurna circuit, one of the most epic treks on the planet. This ain't your grandma's nature walk, people. This is next level trekking with breathtaking views, challenging trails, and memories that'll last a lifetime.
We're talking about traversing the Himalayas, passing through lush valleys, crossing suspension bridges over raging rivers, and pushing yourself to the limit. It's not for the faint of heart, but the rewards are more than worth it.
Imagine trekking through rhododendron forests, the air thick with the scent of pine and wildflowers. Imagine rounding a bend and being greeted by the sight of towering snow-capped peaks, their white slopes gleaming in the sunlight. It's enough to take your breath away.
And the best part, you're completely immersed in nature. You're sleeping under the stars, waking up to the sound of birdsong, and sharing stories with fellow trekkers from around the world. It's an experience that'll change you, man. It's about pushing your limits, connecting with nature, and discovering what you're truly capable of.
All right, picture this. You wake up way before the sun does, like stupid early, right? It's still dark out, you're freezing your butt off, but you drag yourself out of bed anyway. Why? Because you're in Nagarkot, baby, and you're about to witness a sunrise that'll blow your freaking mind.
We're talking Himalayas in the background, bathed in this crazy golden light. It's like someone hit the pause button on the most epic sunset ever, except it's sunrise.
So you're bundled up, coffee in hand, maybe some crazy Nepali tea if you're feeling adventurous, and you just wait. The sky starts to change colour. This subtle shift from black to deep purple, then orange and pink start to bleed in. It's like someone's up there with a giant paintbrush just going wild.
And then, boom, the first rays of sun hit those Himalayan peaks. Man, it's like nothing else I've ever seen. The whole world seems to light up, these massive mountains glowing, throwing shadows for miles. You're standing there tiny, insignificant, and totally in awe.
Trust me, it's the kind of experience that sticks with you. And that's Nagarkot, man. It's not just about the sunrise, though. The whole place is perched on this ridge, so the views are insane all day long. You got rolling hills, terraced farms, and those majestic mountains just dominating the skyline. You can hike, chill, soak it all in. It's the perfect place to catch your breath after the craziness of Kathmandu.
You know how sometimes you just want to escape the noise, the chaos, the constant hustle? That's Bandipur for you. It's this little hilltop town tucked away in the Himalayas, where time seems to move a little slower. No cars allowed, just cobblestone streets, ancient temples, and these beautifully preserved Niwari houses. It's like stepping back into the past in the best possible way.
Imagine wandering through narrow alleys, the smell of incense in the air, prayer flags flapping in the breeze. You pass by these intricate wood carvings, centuries old, and you realize, man, people have been living this way for generations. There's this sense of peace, of history that you don't find in many places anymore.
And the views? Don't even get me started on the views. Bandipur sits high up, surrounded by these lush green hills, and on a clear day, you can see all the way to the Annapurna Range. It's like someone took the most stunning landscape painting and brought it to life.
So yeah, Bandipur is special. It's a place to slow down, breathe deep, and appreciate the simple things. It's a reminder that sometimes the best experiences aren't about checking things off a list, but about just being present, soaking it all in.
So there you have it, guys, Nepal. From the bustling streets of Kathmandu to the serene heights of the Himalayas, this place will rock your world. We've explored ancient temples, witnessed breathtaking sunrises, trekked through some of the most incredible landscapes on Earth, and encountered a culture that's both vibrant and deeply spiritual. If you're looking for adventure, for a chance to challenge yourself and experience something truly unique, Nepal is calling your name. And trust me, you don't want to miss out on this. Now, I know what you're thinking. Planning a trip like this can be overwhelming. Where do you even start? That's where Signal Travel Concierge comes in. They'll take care of everything from flights and visas to accommodation and customized itineraries. They'll hook you up with local guides, make sure you get the most out of your trip, and handle all the logistics so you can focus on what really matters, experiencing Nepal to the fullest. So, what are you waiting for? Pack your bags, grab your sense of adventure, and get ready for the trip of a lifetime. Nepal's waiting.